Welcome. Today is the first of our 6-week session where we are going to be learning about frequency alchemy. My name is Lisa Love. I am a frequency alchemist. I have been learning these practices deeply for the last 3 years, practicing them in my own life and learning how to ultimately reprogram my nervous system, my subconscious mind. And ultimately, this has a lot to do with energy. So we're going to learn about what is energy, how do we work with energy, and how do we alchemize emotions from lower frequency into higher frequency. So I'm going to begin by sharing my screen here. Give me 1 second. Please make sure that you have a notebook so that you take notes. You will also be having this recording so that you can watch this over and over and over again. I always recommend watching things 3 times because that's actually how many times it takes for the information to land. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. Frequency and alchemy. Frequency, again, is energy. Alchemy is about transformation. It's about how to alchemize and transmute the energy. Alchemy comes from ancient Egypt, and there's so many beautiful teachings around sacred energy work when we learn alchemy. The first thing to know is that we can measure energy by using the Hertz scale. So if you see at the bottom of this picture, there's a beautiful diagram of the upside down triangle. At the bottom are the lower emotions, such as shame and guilt. And when you go up higher in frequency, higher in Hertz, you see that you have emotions around courage, willingness, acceptance, love. If you look at the graph on the top, it shows you that there is a specific division at courage, right? Courage is at 200 Hertz. And the emotion there is affirmation. Like an affirmation is a belief in knowing that you can focus on the positive. Having the courage to do something that's difficult means focusing on the positive, using affirmations. And if you look at the Hertz between courage and fear is 100 and courage is 200. So by simply a 100 Hertz difference, you can shift your frequency from fear to courage. And again, this is energy. This is how it works. It's emotion. It's emotion. It's what affects you on the subconscious. Your emotions are held in the body. Your emotions are memories. The reason why your body holds on to emotions is because there is a way that it protects itself by having these emotions to cope with life, with the world. So if we are needing to understand survival, there is a healthy amount of fear that we need to have. You know, the fear of falling off a cliff, the fear of fire, right? There's a reason we have fear because it serves us to survive. But as you know, we live in a society that is so much more beyond survival. We are living in a time of thrival, but our body may not be resonating at that frequency. So we need to learn how to raise our frequency. And the way we do this is by releasing the low energy, the low frequency emotions that are in the subconscious, that are in the body. So I teach this beautiful practice of alchemy by using the invocation written at the bottom of this page. I invoke the power of the I am in me to transmute blank into blank. So a low emotion, low energy emotion into a high energy emotion. And you want to say this 3 times. Repeat this entire phrase with the emotions you're transmuting 3 times. After you've said it 3 times, finish with the statement, so be it. By saying so be it, it's confirming it, because by speaking it, you manifest it. The power of our words cannot be highlighted enough. It's so important that you understand that sound carries a frequency. The words you're choosing carry an emotion. And when you speak in a way that is affirming, this is the truth, so be it. Your body will recognize, your energy will recognize this as the truth. Now you have to feel it. This is the most important part. You need to feel this emotion. And so part of the work is identifying the emotion, learning how to find this emotion. It's one thing to read it on a graph and see it. It's another to feel it, to realize that you're carrying it. That's really the work. So how do we know if we're holding anger? How do we know if we're carrying pride? It does help by looking at the description. The life view of pride is demanding others to do things our way. And even looking at fear, anxiety, right? How many of us experience anxiety? The problem is not that there is some anxiety. The problem is that we continue to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And if it takes over our life, that's a problem. So these are patterns that are stuck in the body. These emotions are stuck in the body, and we need to alchemize them. So we need to move them through us and out. We need to shift the energy from low to high. The best time to do this is right after you wake up and before you get out of bed, before you put your feet on the floor, speaking this invocation, you'll know right away what emotions are coming up because it's the first sense of emotions you feel in the morning, right? When you wake up, and if you feel anxiety about your day ahead, like you have a lot of things to do or you're concerned about how well things will go, you're going to sense that right away. So this is why doing it in the morning is powerful. Also because when you practice this in the morning, it is setting the energy for the day. It's very intentional. You want to always focus your mind on the direction that you want it to go. You are in charge. You are in control. You just need to know these tools of how to shift. So I will use an example here of going from fear to courage. I invoke the power of the I am in me to transmute fear into courage. I invoke the power of the I am in me to transmute fear into courage. I invoke the power of the I am in me to transmute fear into courage. So be it. That's how you use this invocation in the morning before you get out of bed. And let yourself feel, what is courage? What does courage feel like? Maybe it's just putting one foot in front of the other. Maybe it's speaking the truth, even if you're shaking. Doing the thing that intimidates you. Just remember, you just have to do your best. It's not about being perfect. It's not about knowing everything. Just do your best. That's all you have to do. Now we emit an energy field. This is so important to understand that your energy, as we saw, can be measured. Your energy field is called a torus field. It is coming from your heart. Your heart emits an electromagnetic field. Your thoughts and your emotions affect this field. And it goes out and around you 6 feet. 6 feet. All around you. And it moves up from your crown, out and around, and then up through your root. So your spine is the channel of this energy movement. Remember, it's from your heart space. So we need to know how to feel the energy field of our heart. Your heart is the amplifier. Your heart is 5,000 times more powerful than the mind. So no matter what your mind is thinking of, your heart is radiating your truth. Your heart cannot lie. So no matter what the mind is trying to say, to use logic, to explain things, or to try to justify, the heart is the truth. The heart knows what it wants. So let's go into alchemy. This is why we need to understand energy. Because we need to learn how to protect it. So if your thoughts and your emotions affect your field, then how can you focus your thoughts and emotions to protect your energy? Well, if you look on the left, you see here this beautiful pyramid. This is a 3D shape of a pyramid. How many sides does this pyramid have? 4 sides. Front, back, left, and right. And it has a floor. So imagine you are standing in the middle of this pyramid. We're sitting in the middle of this pyramid. That is how you need to visualize and create a sacred shape, a sacred space, by always being in a pyramid. Now, this is something you need to do in the morning, also when you wake up, and before you go to sleep. Also, creating a pyramid around your home. If you live with other people, let's say you have roommates, you only need to put the pyramid around your room. You do not bring anybody else into your pyramid. The pyramid is for you. Now, if you feel like you need to protect your children, spouse, a loved one, you can send the intention of protecting them in a pyramid, but only if their free will allow it. You cannot impose upon anyone else's free will, no matter how much you want to protect them. It is their choice whether or not they want your help. Because remember, everyone is on their own path. And it is pride that wants us to control or help others. That is pride. So it's so important not to infringe upon other people's energies and try to do what we think is best for them. So we are going to practice this today. I just want to explain to you how this works. So first, you will create this pyramid in your mind. You will feel it around you, protecting you with your thoughts and with your emotions. And then you must set an intention, because everything is intention and intention is thoughts. The intention is that only the highest good may be in my sacred space. This is how you set intention. You must avoid using not or no statements, because the mind does not understand the word no or not. It's supposed to only know what you want. It's very powerful to understand this. If you're using no statements and not statements, I no longer want to give my energy. What does that mean? What does that actually mean? What does that look like to not give your energy, not be affected by other people's energy? The subconscious doesn't know how to picture this. You can't picture what you don't want. You can only picture what you do want. It's like going to a restaurant and the server comes to your table and you say, I do not want the pasta. The server is going to stand there and say, okay, I'm waiting for your order. What would you like? Oh, I don't want the salad. I don't want the breadsticks. You know, doesn't make sense. No one knows what to do with a not statement. You have to say what you want. This is how the universe works. This is how alchemy works. This is how the mind works. We must use direct statements of what we want. Only the highest good may be in my sacred space. Only the highest good. We use the word highest good because it means basically that I don't necessarily know what is the best. And so therefore I'm leaving it up to divine. I'm leaving it up to source, spirit, creator, whatever word you want to use of what the big picture is here of energy, the ultimate energy that we're in, source, creator, spirit, love, light, okay? That we are connecting to that energy knows what is the highest good. Because our ego, right? We have a soul and an ego. Our ego is our personality, and it's got a lot of like beliefs in the subconscious that are there to keep us safe. And then we have the soul, which is limitless and infinite, connected directly to source, and is here to do big things. Your soul is here to bring in love. Your soul is here to open up a new way of being in the world. So we're here to learn how to go from living in ego to living in soul, and we have to move through this energy all day, constantly. There's so many people in spiritual communities who are still in ego. We call it a spiritual ego because it never goes away. Now the ego feeds on fear. The ego feeds on playing small because it wants to be comfortable. Ego likes comfort. And that's why this work can be very triggering, because we have to become uncomfortable if we want transformation. That's why we need to move from fear to courage. Because we're moving from ego comfort to soul expansion. From fear to courage. Okay. So now we know we must have intention around our sacred shape, that only the highest good may be in my sacred space, and that we must feel the emotion of what energy we want in our space. Is it peace? Is it love? Is it acceptance? Just even acceptance can be so relieving. To know we don't need to know it all, to know we don't need to have it all figured out. Just accepting what is happening now in the moment, accepting where you are, and knowing that you are on a journey. You are on a journey to become expanded. You're always working towards expanding. It never stops. All right. So this is your practice. You must create your pyramid when you wake up and before you go to sleep around yourself. And then creating the pyramid around your home. Whenever you do this, it must be your own home that you live in. You can also do this when you're traveling and you're staying in another person's home. And this is how you create this feeling of safety. This is how you protect your energy. Okay, next is thoughts and emotions. We understand now that frequency is affected by our emotions. We understand that the heart emits 5,000 times more than the mind. But the mind is where the thoughts come from. And then the thoughts go down into the heart, radiate from emotion. And guess what's in between the mind and the heart? Your voice. This is where you manifest. This is where you speak your truth because you are in alignment with your thoughts and your emotions. So how do we move from fear to courage? How do we shift our thoughts from fearful thoughts, worry, or negative thinking, self-criticism, self-doubt? How do we shift those thoughts into higher frequency thoughts? Affirmations. Remember that courage is in line with affirmations. So this is where things start to shift. So by coming into an affirmation practice every single day, you are creating new thought patterns. There are a ton of these videos on YouTube of hours of affirmations that are specific to what you're calling in. If it's money, if it's love, if it's health, if it's peace, there's affirmations for everything. It's so great to be alive right now because of how much information is available if we know what to look for. And if you want to get really into the deep work with affirmations, you can even voice record your own affirmations. It's very powerful when you hear your own voice. Very potent. If you wake up in the morning and press play on your phone and you hear yourself speaking these affirmations, your subconscious mind will assimilate the affirmations much easier. It will really feel that belief, that truth in the body much quicker. I do recommend listening to affirmations in the morning, getting the mind right, getting the mind in the right place. And this takes practice. At least 21 days. Because that's how long it takes to create a new habit. A new habit is simply a thought. Your thought creates the desire to take action. So if you want to create a new habit, you want to be working out more often, you have to have a thought form that says, I'm going to go work out right now. I'm going to plan my day around my workout schedule. I'm going to make time and prioritize this because it is important for me and it will make me feel good. So 21 days is what it takes. Now, emotions. This is part of what I just shared about the invocation, okay? The invocation of the I invoke the I am in me. This is how you shift your emotions. Again, this is what you need to do for 21 days. And I wrote here theta healing because, and I'll explain to you why theta, it's so specific to theta, because theta is the subconscious. Theta is how we can reprogram our subconscious. And I will explain how that works. Okay. Here we go. This is why we need to know how our brain works and frequencies work, because it's so much about understanding your own body. Our body is a technology, just like your phone. You need to learn how to use your phone. You need to learn how to use your mind and your body. Okay? So when we are sleeping, we are in the delta brainwave. When we wake up, right? When we wake up, when we're still kind of in our dreamy state, a little bit of a sleepy zone, but we're starting to feel our body, our emotions, the energy. We're starting to feel a little bit more awareness from our sleep state. We will be going into theta. Theta is connected to emotions. And it's also like a trance. This is where shamans do a lot of their work. And you'll see, the shamans have the drum. They're tapping the drum because that rhythm matches the theta brainwave. So they know how to get their clients into that theta state so they can shift their consciousness. And as you see here, those are considered the unconscious states. 95% of our habits are from the subconscious. 95% of our habits come from the subconscious, and our subconscious mind is developed by the age of 7. As we are growing up till the age of 7, we are learning about the world through watching body language, through listening to the words, and through the visuals of what we see around us and how we interpret the world. So a lot of cultural conditioning affects us, especially if there's religion and the school system, right? Because a lot of us go to kindergarten. Our family dynamics, what's happening at home every day. There's this really beautiful example that Joe Dispenza talks about when he talks about the terrible twos, and he says, well, if you spent the first year of a child's life telling them, no, put that down, no, don't make a mess, right? That if you're constantly telling the child, no this, no that, they hear this word being used so much. They're still learning about the world. They don't understand that there's bad and good, but they're interpreting it based off what you respond with, right? So by the time they're 2, they've heard no so many times. What do you think they start doing? No, no, no. They're simply mirroring. That's all they do. They are mirroring everything they've been seeing and hearing. they are still unconscious until the age of 7. So I'm going to just say that if you are a parent, it's so important to speak very lovingly. If you want, your child to be using loving words, and I know there's so much around our own unconscious behaviors that we may not even know that we're doing, and then they see it and they're mirroring it, and then we see them doing it, and then we get triggered, right? Because they're mirroring us. And so it's really powerful when you're a parent, because you really learn so much about yourself. Yeah, powerful. Now, when we go from theta, we start to become a little more conscious as we start to think about our day. We start to visualize our day, all the things we have to do for the day, kind of becoming more aware of the world we're in again. Like, oh, yes, I'm here in this reality. Okay, I have a job. I have these responsibilities. Okay, here's my body. I'm feeling my body now. I'm back into the physical world. Then that's when we become conscious. And alpha state is also a really good way to connect to like a visual meditation. There's something called alpha meditations, which allows you to really visualize what it is that you want to do for the day. Okay, I'm just kind of guiding us through like how these actually feel and in the body. So you become aware of your body, you start to become aware of the feelings that you've been shifting through from dream state to awake state. And then once you get going and you're planning your day, or you're getting things ready, you're kind of moving around, kind of using logic and cognitive function to decide in what order things are going to be done. That's when you're in beta. You're using logic. Most of us are in beta. I do want to say that I think it's important to say that television, watching shows, they put us in a theta state. They put us in a trance. Have you ever seen someone who's just mesmerized by the screen? They're in a trance. It's a type of hypnosis. So it's really important that what you choose to watch, choose to listen to, are coming from a place of love, that emit a frequency of love, that have high energy, because that's going into your subconscious. Whatever you're watching is affecting your energy field because you've allowed it in through the consent of your eyeballs and your ears. This is how you need to understand how to protect your energy. So it's about what you listen to and what you look at. Okay, this absolutely affects your energy. And then the last one I want to say is gamma. That is in a very high energy state of, they say, ecstasy, right? It's just ecstatic. It's almost like when you're dancing. When you're dancing, you're in a gamma state, gamma brainwave. So we go through all 5 of these every day. Sometimes, I mean, maybe we don't always go into gamma if we're not really needing to get into that kind of state, like using a lot of focus or energy, high energy. But we definitely are always going to be in delta when we sleep. Now, theta happens in and out of delta. Theta happens in and out of delta. So it happens right before you fall asleep and right after you wake up. Theta happens, and those are both unconscious. It's in these two, it's when you're in these two that you can do the most amount of work. on reprogramming the subconscious mind. If 95% of your habits, 95% of your habits are coming from your subconscious, that's where the bulk of the work is going to be, is doing your subconscious reprogramming. And that's what happens during Delta and Theta. Now, Delta is when you sleep. So how can you reprogram while you're sleeping? Number one, no television. Commercials, none of that should be going through your mind while you're sleeping. We can listen to sound healing music. I like to listen to 528 hertz music. You can find this on YouTube. You can find it on Spotify. Listen to this while sleeping. This will automatically put your body into a deep, relaxed state, feeling safe, feeling surrounded by love. I listen to sound healing every night. I've been listening to it for many years, every night. It's absolutely crucial to how I wake up, feeling revitalized. All right, and then Theta, we've mentioned a few times already. It is so important to understand that this is where we reprogram through our feelings. So before you get out of bed, right when you wake up, you're in that Theta state, you're in a little bit, like even before I open my eyes and I'm aware that my body is in bed. I know that I have time because I have an alarm, one to wake up for Theta. This is my secret. This is how I do it. I have an alarm that says Theta, and it has affirmations playing. So I don't even open my eyes, and the alarm goes off to wake me up, and it's just affirmations. Because our phones can do that now. It's so great. You can just set up your alarm to Spotify and have a playlist saved on there. Make your own playlist of affirmations. You can also do sound healing if you prefer. So you can wake up to sound healing. But it's about the emotions. What are the emotions you are wanting to feel? And then I scan my body. And I feel what's going on in my body. If there's fear, worry, any anxiousness, sadness, anger, grief, anything that I want to transmute, I will do the invocation. And then sitting up and doing my pyramid shape, pyramid of protection. So I create the pyramid around me, around my home. And I want to really feel that only the highest good may be in my space. Only good things can be in my energy. And that's my morning routine. Now, what is shadow work? Shadow work is trauma healing. It is understanding that there are emotions in our body, beliefs in our mind that have stemmed from something traumatic. The trauma could have been passed down. Generational trauma is absolutely real. There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. And it says that if the emotion has not been transmuted, it gets passed down. And this is why I do womb healing, because I know how important this is to clear trauma from the mother so that she does not pass it down to her children. And if you know that your children have it, it's okay. They're going to need to do their work when the time comes. But the point is that you want to do the work for yourself. You always do it for yourself. Your soul chose to come here to experience trauma because those wounds from trauma become your gifts. Your wounds become your gifts when you know how to alchemize pain. So if we look at how trauma shows up, we look at this these examples here. So under trauma, we have codependency, attachment styles such as anxious attachment and avoidant attachment or disorganized attachment. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up attachment styles. And it's very eye-opening to understand how this works, because we want to have what's called secure attachment, which is when you move into the love. It's the ability to just love yourself and love others as they are, and not needing to depend or fix or attach. Yeah. Having any thoughts around, you complete me and never leave me, right? That's a fear of being abandoned, of being alone. That's a big trauma. And again, that comes back to survival. That's a feeling of needing to survive. Like, I can't do this by myself, so I need someone else. Really interesting here. I'm in love with an idea of who you could be if you loved me enough. So interesting how can fall in love with potential, and wanting someone to change or not taking responsibility for our own behavior. One of the most common things I see with women is that we will go into people pleasing or being nice. So we say yes because we don't want to say no. We don't want to disappoint them, but we're tired. And we just like do it with a smile, like, it's okay. I'm just like super tired. I'll just do this thing because I'm nice. No, 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 no. That's how we get drained. And people pleasing is a trauma response. Absolutely. Because why are we trying to please someone? We're afraid of the repercussions if they don't like what we say, or don't like what we're doing. We might be afraid of being punished, being kicked out of the tribe, right? There's a survival mentality. There's a tribe mentality that is so deeply rooted. So if we don't follow along, we think we will die. It's ingrained in our nervous system through generations and generations of communal living and surviving in tribes, surviving in challenging environments where all they did was need to survive. But we don't live in that time anymore. Our body might still think it is needing to survive, but we know better. That's why we're here. We're here to transmute and shift this energy. So thinking one day things will change. If I just keep betraying myself, if I just keep working myself to the bone, if I just keep fixing and helping everyone else, one day things will change. If it's not now, there's no guarantee. It has to be coming from your own desire. You have to really want to truly feel like that is in alignment. Like you have the energy and you enjoy it. You really want it. You really desire it. That's the real reason to do anything. That's the only reason to say yes. It's because you want it. You really, truly want it, and your heart wants it. Your body wants it. That's when you got to connect to your body and your heart more than anything else. Is this a yes? Is this a yes? And it's instant. You will know, you will feel what a yes and what a no feel like. Okay? Going into love, so important to understand that if you want to come from a loving place, you must understand boundaries. Boundaries for yourself and boundaries for others. Because boundaries provide a space of safety. Your sacred shape are your boundaries, right? Only the highest good can enter your space, your sacred shape. This is how you feel safe. So it's the same thing for everyone else. Everyone else is sovereign and has their own boundaries, and that must be respected and honored. That's why it's called interdependence, not codependence. Interdependent. We're all individually sovereign. We're all individually in our own power, and we all have the ability to say yes and no to what we want and don't want. It's all about respecting people and their boundaries. And then how can I show up for you? How can I be of service? That's what love does. Letting people be themselves and do what they want, let them change when they want. Ultimately, what love does, but being from a frequency of love, from coming from a place of love, is that you also take full accountability, full accountability. So if there is a projection, okay, this is really, take notes on this one. This is years of understanding, of trying to understand this. Finally, seeing it for the wisdom this holds, that we are living in a projection, okay? When you are triggered by someone's behavior, actions, that is coming from a trauma within myself, within yourself. It's the projection of this triggers me. That behavior bothers me. It's because that behavior is something I don't like about me. Yeah, you see how deep this goes? It's like, for example, I see someone that is late, and it really bothers me. Oh, it's always late. I have to wait for this person. This is my time that they're just not caring about. They don't care about my time. That's how I feel. And I'm triggered by that. But the truth is, am I late to things? Am I running late to things as well? Am I caring about other people's time? How could I have done better to shift that, to plan ahead, to prioritize someone else's time? And this is so important because I think this is such a reflection of so many things about timeliness and being accountable. Is that one of the reasons why we do that? And I'm saying this because it's something I've been working on. Okay, I'm still working on this, being on time. And I know where it came from. It came from my mother. Absolutely, she's still late to everything. So I get to be the one, yay, to alchemize it. Is because there's a deeper trauma around it. Okay, there's a deeper trauma around why that's happening. Now, what I've been able to figure out so far with my own inner work is that it's because I've put too many things on my schedule and I don't energetically align to what I need to do in the time I need to do it or at the time I need to do it. And so I subconsciously procrastinate. I subconsciously wait till the last minute. I subconsciously put it off and don't prioritize because I feel subconsciously that I don't want to do it or that I don't want to do it at that time because I would like to eat. I would like to rest. But because we have so many things, demands, responsibilities, right? Then we kind of have to find a way to force it. It can feel this way. Not saying that's true, but you know, it can feel like I have to force it. So then I am late because I subconsciously didn't really want to do it or be there at that time. I wanted more time for myself. So that's an example. And why I wrote trauma is a boundary violation, because it is. Trauma comes from having a boundary where I wanted safety, right? Safety of my energy, conserving my energy, not just giving it away all the time, or having it be depleted. That now there's this trauma around my feeling of safety around this issue, that this pattern that keeps showing up. There's a pattern, all these patterns showing up these triggers showing up, this mirroring, this projection that keeps showing up is there, and I see it because I take accountability, I write it down, I know it's happening, I look at patterns, and sometimes it takes a few times of it happening constantly and people saying, hey, this is happening, like you need to look at this, or expressing the same kind of concerns, and it's like I just kind of might put it off to the side, but then eventually I'll start caring if I'm doing this work long enough to really start looking at it deeper. And then you have to look at where it's coming from. What's the trauma behind it? We use the word trauma, I feel like, as like there's like a victim almost mentality around the word trauma. But when you understand that this is generational, you're not a victim, right? You're not a victim. You were born with it. You're here to alchemize it because your soul chose it. Yay! So now you have tools of how to transmute it. But what I wanted to really explain, I know that was a lot of kind of spiraling. I feel like that's what I do a lot. Sorry about that. I kind of spiral sometimes, but it makes sense in my mind because everything is a spiral. Yeah, being late, giving my energy away, wanting to conserve it. But then the trauma, okay, I'm coming back full circle. Here we go. Ready? The trauma is that I have post-traumatic slave disorder. And I overwork. It's on both sides. It's on my mother's side and my father's side. They're workaholics. So I commit to things. I do a lot of things in a day. I'm constantly doing something, whether if it's learning something, working on something, writing down all the things, plans, thoughts. I've got all these things, it's because I have actual, like, this is a thing now. People have acknowledged that this is a thing. Post-traumatic slave disorder. It's this trauma response of needing to work. It's a trauma response of needing to be productive. And it comes from so many things. It comes from a feeling of needing to survive. I need to do more to get more. Or it also can come from a feeling of insecurity. Feeling like I need to do more to be more. Or have more to be more worthy. Okay. So let's go to this last beautiful affirmation at the bottom. I am worthy of security, reliability, and peace. I am worthy of security, reliability, and peace. So if I'm already worthy of security, reliability, so, things happening the way they're meant to happen, trusting, and then peace. So not needing to do so much. If I can continue to work on this energy, this love, consciousness, I can heal my post-traumatic slave disorder. I can heal and alchemize my overworking tendencies. And I'm not saying it's bad to work because I love what I do. I love what I do. There's so much joy in it. But it's important to understand that if I'm getting depleted, I'm feeling burnout, then there is something underneath that, right? That there's a pattern there I need to look at. All right. Let's just take a big breath after this slide. This is a meaty slide here. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. One more time. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. This is how we move from fear to courage. We are not a victim. We're here to understand the journey of who we are here to become. We are here to embody our soul's expansion, to radiate love. You see how beautiful that is? It's like you are writing the story. You are writing this beautiful novel of your life. You are the author. You are the creator. How would you like your story to end? Maybe it's so big you can't even see it yet. Let your imagination run wild, because you are here to be a creator. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the ride. Let's go into practice now. I'm going to stop sharing. So our practice today is to create our sacred shape. Remember that you do this in the morning before you get out of bed, just, sitting up, create your pyramid. And I'm sure, if someone sees you, they'll just think you're meditating because you are. But this is actually why we do it, why we meditate. For connecting, collecting our energy. All right, my alarm to remind me to meditate just turned on, so I'm going to go make sure I turn that off and we will meditate now. Okay, have some water. It's important to always be hydrated. This is how we move energy. That electromagnetic energy of the heart. All right, so coming to seated. Make sure if you're in a chair, you're putting your feet on the floor, connecting and down into the earth. And closing your eyes here. Breathing slowly. Feeling the weight of your feet, the weight of your hips, rooting down. Feeling your connection to the earth below you. Keep your spine straight so the energy can flow through you, through your torus field. Now begin to create this visualization of a pyramid, a 3D pyramid all around you with 4 sides, in front, behind, left and right, and don't forget the floor. So important to visualize the floor of this pyramid on your feet, below you. You see the walls around you. 6 feet around you. Preserving, protecting your energy field. Don't forget your back. So important to feel behind you, the space behind you. This is also how you develop better proprioception of feeling your body in space. So feeling the area behind your back. And I want you now to come into the feeling of empowerment. What memory do you have that helps you invoke a feeling of empowerment? And then just bringing in those thoughts and emotions into your pyramid. You are powerful and you are sovereign. Breathing in gold light from the top of your pyramid down through your crown, down your spine. Exhale down into the earth. Feeling that connection, that channel of energy moving through you. Start to fill up your sacred shape with gold light from your spine, from your heart, Inhale and expand your heart space. Grow bigger like a cloud, like a bubble. Feel it, see it, this 3D bubble. Going bigger, bigger than your body. And then it's filling up the 6 feet torus field around you, behind you. As you exhale, it's filling in all of the crevices and corners of your pyramid. You are now bathed in gold light in this beautiful pyramid. And repeat this after me. Only the highest good may be in my space. Believe it. Believe that you are protected now. It is from this belief that you have created it. Now let's do this for your home. So now you are in your pyramid and you want to create a pyramid around your home. So now just start to see in your mind's eye space around your home. How big is your home? Again, if you have your own bedroom and housemates, roommates, you are just going to put this around your own room. Or if you're in an apartment building, it's around your own apartment. Just start to see all 4 corners. And if you have a yard, you're going to expand the pyramid around the yard. Okay, so you have to really get visual, get detailed. Look at all 4 corners. Get a feel for the space. How big is this space? Use your proprioception. Now, picture this beautiful pyramid, the floor of the pyramid, and the 4 walls growing up to the top, coming together at the point. And inhale, gold light from the top of your home's pyramid, filling up from the bottom of the floor, filling up just like a glass of water, filling the glass. As the level rises up, continue to picture gold light filling the pyramid now. Up, up, up to the very top. You can also think of this as a protection from your devices, any frequencies that are potentially affecting you are not going to impact your energy, but you must believe it. If you doubt it, it will not work. You must believe it. And that's why we practice. Because the more you practice, the more you feel it, the more proof you will see and how the energy responds to your beliefs. If you believe you are safe, you will be. Deep breath in and exhale. Now that you're in your beautiful sacred shape, your home is protected and safe, start to visualize your dream life, your highest timeline, your highest joy. Let's say in a few months from now, maybe a year from now. What does that look like, feel like? Don't let logic come in and try to explain how it's going to happen. Just picture, just visualize. What are you doing? How does it feel? Let your imagination go wild. Your heart will show you. Does your heart feel expanded? Let your heart show you what is your joy. Maybe it's something simple or something grand. What is it that is underlying this vision? What is the real feeling that you're seeing? What is the feeling behind it? The feeling of freedom? Feeling of love? Feeling of peace? And let that feeling radiate. Be in that body now, that vision you see, be in that body now, having that experience. What is the feeling? Amplify it now, make it bigger. Know how worthy you are to receive this vision and to receive this feeling. This is what your heart wants. And the heart wants what it wants. There's no such thing as too much. It is what it is. Just let your whole body emanate this feeling now, filling up your heart as you inhale. And exhale. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Relax your forehead. Relax your face. One more inhale. Hold at the top. Exhale. Knowing that it's already here. You just need to believe. Believe. And you will receive. You ready? Bring your hands together. Rub your hands. Build some heat. Build some heat. And then place your hands over your eyes. Letting the heat absorb, soften, and relax your eyes. Massage your eyebrows with your fingers, melting away tension. You can let your eyes open. So that practice took 15 minutes. Could you imagine doing this practice every morning? Creating your sacred shape, visualizing what you want to manifest every morning. Now, if you do this every day, every morning for 7 days, you are going to see some massive shifts. That's what I recommend. That's what I suggest. And that's what I teach to do. Meditate, focus, visualize every day, every morning. If you can't do it in the morning, do it in the evening, but do your best. That's all I can say. Just do your best. Sending you so much love as you are embarking on a beautiful journey of alchemy. From my heart, yours.